Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri, and it is Thursday. At our house, it's Friday. Matt and Caden are both off Friday and Monday, so it's a long weekend at our house, but we have 1,000,007 things to do this weekend. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of not having to get up at 6 a.m. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So thank you for joining me. I postponed lunch with Lori from Wednesday to Thursday. Sometimes Wednesday gets a little crazy. And so lunch with Lori, we are here. We're going to make 3 projects. And today I'm going to focus on specialty paper. And we're going to use a couple of different bundles. So there's not one particular bundle that we're using, but we're going to use some of the fun new specialty paper, the shiny paper, the glimmer paper, shiny glimmer snowflake paper. And we are not going to use the velvet paper for this class. The velvet paper gets its own thing, and it's actually today's project for project number 9 of 31. Oh, hi, Judy. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you caught me. So the velvet paper will be this afternoon. It's getting its own thing. We had too many fancy papers for me to do everything in one video. So I'm going to turn you around here. We're going to do our projects. I have a funny. This is for my own accountability. I am notorious for using the oldest embossing plates, like the plastic ones that you come and they're shiny and clear. No, mine are so scuffed and so gross that I ordered 3 complete new sets last week. They're here. So I'm going to show you my old ones, and then I am telling you, so that I have witnesses, that I am going to throw those away. Okay? So you guys are all my witnesses that I am throwing away my old plates. All right, here we go. We are going to start by showing you my nasty plates because, look, they're terrible. They're bent, they're bowed, they've got things stuck to them. They're going away. So goodbye, old plates. All right, our first card today. We are going to see the metallic brown. And it is really so pretty. It's called Earthen Toned Metallic, and there are 3 sheets, and it is this really pretty brown. And I know you're thinking, oh, brown, that doesn't sound very pretty, but it really is. And of course it's shiny with the camera above it, but so we're going to use that. If you're in my card club, you have seen this card before, so just act surprised. But I thought it was a good one to show how pretty this paper is. So our card's going to start with a crumb cake card base, and I'm just going to fold that in half. It's just a regular half sheet card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Set that aside, and I have a vanilla 4 by 5.25. Now, I've already done the die cutting for this because I didn't want you to have to see me pick all of these little pieces out because it's a little bit tedious, but I have die cut using the Amber Autumn dies. I've die cut this leaf sheet, and we're gonna glue that onto our vanilla piece. I have a sample that I had done before that was Cajun Craze, which is also beautiful. But then I decided, wouldn't this be so pretty with that metallic paper? So that's where my inspiration came from. And I'm going to use tiny drops of glue. You could also, make sure all my things are poked out. You could also put an adhesive sheet on the back with a die like this. The back of the paper is white. It's kind of a little thicker than cardstock, I would say, but it's just a little sturdier. That's the word I want. But there's enough bigger pieces that I can put just some drops of glue around, and so then it will stick. It doesn't have, the whole thing doesn't have to be completely glued down, but if you're an adhesive sheet lover and you want to do that, then by all means, you're welcome to do that. But I was just afraid it would not come out very easily if I did that. So I'm going to start with a fall card, and then we're going to move toward Christmas and then end with winter. So we're just going to move through all the seasons today. It is definitely a little more fall-like here in St. Louis, so I'm ready for these kind of cards, I think. Sometimes it's hard to make Christmas cards when it's still 75 degrees. I don't know how people who live in Florida do that. So, all right. Well, hi, Diane. Thanks for coming back. Oops. All right, so my piece of the brown metallic is just hopefully going to get centered right there. All right, isn't that pretty? Like that vanilla comes through. All right, we can go ahead and we can glue that onto our card base as well. It's gonna be a flat piece. And glue that on, and then that's all put together. And then all we have to do is decorate, because, and really it doesn't even need that much decoration, because it really, I mean, it kind of stands on its own. I've also cut some leaves, and I always call these weeds. I don't know that they're really weeds. They're flowers or branches of some sort, but I call them weeds. They're all weeds to me. And I die cut a textured note rectangle. So I'm gonna use the Cajun Craze ink just so it's a little more contrast with that brown. And I'm gonna stamp them. Oh, I should show you the stamp set. Amber Autumn. If you don't have this, this is so pretty. It's in the Autumn Toile bundle, and it's beautiful. Those pumpkins are really pretty when they're colored. But if you're not a colorer, I get it. You could also emboss it, which would also be beautiful. Okay. All right, that's not bad. And it wasn't even right in front of me. I'm impressed that I wasn't right over it. All right, so I've got blessed to have you in my life. And we're gonna decorate that just a little bit. And I'm gonna use the irregular weave ribbon, the trim for that. That's the ribbon that comes with the suite. And I don't know if I've said this before, but this ribbon doesn't exactly play nice with some of your other ribbons. So if you get them tangled, just know that this ribbon will probably win. Mine got caught up against the white fuzzy, what's it called? The white fluffy trim, the white fluffy trim, which is fuzzy like that. Yeah, does not get along very well with this ribbon. So just be careful. That's the point here. Just be careful. Learn your lessons from Lori. Let me learn them the hard way, and then you can just come in and swoop in and save the day. All right, I'm just gonna tape that on the back. I use my Scotch tape. What do you think? Should we make a vertical card or a horizontal card? This one is vertical, so I'm kind of tending to think I want to do it horizontally just to see what the difference is. But if somebody has a great opinion on that, you can let me know. I put dimensionals on the back. But I also, two of my cutouts are going to go on the back. I have 3 here. At least I hope I do. Yeah, they're there. All right, so let's put one on the front and 2 in the back. I'm just gonna poke those in there, but I wanna glue those down because that way they're not stuck to anything like that. All right, I should have put those underneath my tape. Let's just do that a little bit. And another piece of tape. We could also use adhesive and then stick it to the adhesive, but since I still have the tape in my hand, or right here, we'll just use that tape. Then you can arrange your ribbon however you want around that. All right, now we can put the dimensionals on. Okay. When you have a die cut like this, it's a beautiful focal point, and that shine just makes it look really pretty. Looks like I'll have to trim my ribbon so it's not hanging off the bottom of my card. Okay, now let's add our leaf on this side. Now I'm gonna attach it directly to my piece right here, so I'm gonna make sure that I get the glue on that left side. Otherwise we're gonna glue it to the wrong thing. And these leaf die cuts are the same as this pattern, the same shape, so. So it all coordinates nicely. They play well together. All right, now I brought over both the brown streaked dots and the Cajun Craze in gold. I'm trying to decide which one I actually want to use for the card. Actually, Judy, if you're still there, do you have an opinion? I like it when you have an opinion. All right, the gold and the Cajun Craze to bring out the Cajun Craze with the words, or do we want the brown that's a little more subtle? There they are. There's my card. I almost think that I'm gonna go with the Cajun Craze in gold so that it brings out the Cajun Craze on our sentiment piece. If I don't like it, well, I'm out of luck, right? All right, I'll put one on my sentiment. There's 3 sizes to this, so I might, let's see, fill in there. Gold. Okay, good choice, Judy. Good choice, because that's what I got here. And then maybe one over here. All right, so there is our horizontal. It has the copper, brown, shiny metallic, and then the Cajun Craze. So it's the same basic thing, just upped just a little bit with the fancy paper. All right, card number 1. Card number 2, we're gonna move on to Christmas. And for this one, let me move everything out of the way here. We're gonna use the Peace on Earth bundle. I'm not really a dove lover. Like, it's not what I would choose if I was just, you know, gonna make a card, but here we are. And actually, I've decided that I actually kind of like it. It's got nice words. It has with sympathy. It's got big hugs for a good friend, heartfelt prayers. So it's not just a Christmas, but I am going to use the Peace on Earth today. And then the bundle, the dies come along with it. But the paper that I'm going to, well, actually I have the designer series paper, the whole pack of Peace on Earth designer series paper, or Peaceful Garden. We're going to use that. I'm not going to show you all those pieces right now because it's not our main focus today. We are going to use the Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper, which has 3 different shades in it. This one is actually called Pale Green. Soft green, excuse me. Soft green, dark gray, and blue. And they are not exactly the same color as any of our colors. They coordinate nicely, but they are not the same color. So if you think you're gonna match it, it's probably not going to happen. So you just have to be okay with the fact that it's not that matchy exact color, but it looks really pretty with our stuff. So we're using the Glimmer paper for this one. And I have cut everything. I just wanted a little glimmer. I'm not gonna make the whole thing because, you know, you don't want your sympathy card to be gaudy or screaming Las Vegas Strip if you're, you know, if you're using like with sympathy or the big hugs for a good friend. All right, I have a white piece that I cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut designer series paper. This piece is also 4 by 5 1/4. Here's my other one. This one is 4 1/8. I just wanted that little bit of white round. It is pretty sparkly paper. It is, it's pretty. And you just, like I said, you just have to know that it doesn't exactly match our colors. I'm going to use it with Secret Sea. That's the card base that I'm using, and that's the background color of this particular paper. And this one has the flowers. The paper has the flowers in the background. There's also flower gems that match, but I don't think I want the flowers with this one. I think I just want a little bit of subtle shine. I think, actually, I did not bring them over. I think I'm going to grab some rhinestones really quick when I get to that point and and add some colored rhinestones to it. I'm going to show you how I color the rhinestones. All right, so we have our base. I'm going to go ahead, put the inside piece in there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So we have our inside, because when our card base is dark, our recipients can't read it, which wouldn't be very nice, unless I guess you wrote in a white pen, but we typically don't do that. All right, so I have used the Peace on Earth die cuts, and I cut the larger of the two pieces with the sparkly, the glimmer paper. And this is it says dark gray, but it sure does look like our secret C, right? Looks like our secret C. And then I have the smaller one, and this one, I'm going to stamp Peace on Earth, and it is, uh-oh. It has to be right here because I just did it this morning. Oh, it's on the other side. My table in my front room is covered. I have all kinds of project papers. I've got 4 different cards laying out there ready to go. I have, next weekend we are actually going to a wedding, and so we'll be gone Saturday and Sunday. So I'm gonna record those videos, so I need to get that done. I've got all the things lined up over here. I took a picture of it earlier and it just made me laugh. All right, so I'm gonna stamp Peace on Earth. I'm gonna stamp it in the middle. Just like that. It's a beautiful font. And I'm gonna glue it to this. Make sure you use plenty of adhesive. If it makes you uncomfortable or nervous about having that piece stuck to the glimmer paper, dimensionals will also stick to that. Actually, I could use dimensional. Nope, I'm gonna use the liquid glue because I know the liquid glue will work. Because I'm gonna pop the whole piece up. This one's not gonna have any ribbon because it's got the sparkle. I just wanted a little bit of shine. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna put that on dimensionals. Got a lot of dimensionals going today. Oh, thanks, Deidre. And thanks for joining us. Glad you could make it. All right. Here we go. All right, so we've got our Peace on Earth. Now, those white doves that we have on here are holding some, what I'm gonna call cloud cover olive branches. And so I'm gonna put an olive branch on here. Again, I'm gonna use just some small drops of glue. All right, did you know, this is my fun fact for today. And we've talked about this before, so hopefully you all remember that there is a demonstrator starter kit special right now, which means that you can be the happiest shopper ever, and you can purchase the starter kit. That's not exactly where I wanted that. For $35. $35 will get you $125 worth of product. And that means so many things, but more than anything, it means that you would get to choose whatever $125 worth of stuff that you wanted. And honestly, you don't have to do anything else. But if you decided to purchase some more for yourself, you get a 20% discount. I love getting a discount. That is actually one of the best things about Stampin' Up, is that as a demonstrator, I get discounts. And I get to order early. That's my other exciting, perk. But that is one of my favorite things. And there's no catch. It's not even, like, it's just, it is what it is. You can, all right, so I've got my bird. Now I want to give him a tiny little olive branch as well. So if you are interested in getting a deal and saving money, if your wish list from that holiday catalog is pretty big, well, let me know, because I will tell you how you can get it for a discount. I mean, just pay $35 for $125 worth of product and no shipping. That's like amazing in itself, because shipping is 11%, so it's an automatic 11% discount. And I'm not a pusher. You can ask my ladies, they'll be like, she didn't even tell me about this, but I cannot pass up telling people for $35. Or if your wish list is really, really long, then you can do the usual $99 and it's $189 worth of stuff. So many choices to choose from. All right, so if I had to do this again, which I'm already committed to this one, I would put my olive branch on this side and scoot it over a little bit. But here we are. So I'm gonna put some gems on there. Let me grab some rhinestones. And my Secret Seed blends, my blender pens. All right, so I'm gonna color my rhinestones. I'm just gonna put a little extra shine. I'm gonna color my rhinestones on the side. I think we did this on a different card the other day. So just turn your marker sideways. You don't wanna go straight down like you're coloring in a coloring book. You wanna just go sideways like that. We'll see if 3 is enough. But I think this will add just enough shine to go with our... My neighbor is apparently mowing his yard, and so I apologize for the sounds. I can hear it out my back door. My back door is open. All right, there we go. So now we have sparkly paper and some sparkle gems that will just give it enough shine to be pretty and not flashy. All right, so there is card number 2. Oops. Now, card number 3, we are gonna move on to winter, which is super fun. And I'm gonna use 2 different kinds of paper on this one. Let me move these over just a little bit. All right, we're gonna make a square card, which is fun. And we're gonna put it in a regular size envelope so we can mail it and it shouldn't be a problem, in case you're wondering. All right, now my paper that I'm going to use for this one, actually there's 2. I'm gonna use silver foil. That one's actually a staple product, but I'm using it anyway. So it's just silver foil sheets. You get 2 in a pack. We also have gold, which I use a lot. Apparently I'm getting out of control with that because I've used a lot of gold. And this one is the Silent Snowfall Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's an embossed snowflake. Let me pull a piece out so you can actually see the full sheet. These are 12 by 12, and they come in a pack of 6. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to tell lies. All right, so you can see the snowflakes are embossed right on the paper. Now, my one comment about this paper is that it is a little more gray in tone than our basic white paper. So here's my basic white, and here's the paper. Can you see that difference? It's not necessarily a terrible difference, but if you didn't want it to be different, you could easily use a blending brush and color the background, make it a pretty snowy background. But it's just a little bit different, and that's just one of the things that I noticed about it, but it's not gonna stop me from using it because I think it's so pretty. And we have 2 snowflake bundles right now, the Elegant Pine Snowflakes and the Snowy Wonder, or Snowy Delights, excuse me, bundle that are perfect with this. So I don't even need this one. I don't know why because I was using it for the color. Like, why do I still have this? All right, so we are going to cut, well, I did cut actually, a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 card base. So like I said, it's just a square like this, and I've cut a silver snowflake out of the middle of my my silver foil. Okay, so this silver foil is 4 by 4, and that way it uses your paper wisely. The silver foil, and I cut it out of the middle because we're not gonna see that. And then I cut a slightly smaller piece of the snowflake. So this is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I just wanted a small little silver border. Again, just enough to be classy. I don't want it to be like I said, the airline runway, or the Las Vegas Strip, or anything crazy like that. All right, this one is so simple, but it's so pretty. We put it in the regular envelope. It'll be mailed just like any other. You know what? I did that flat. I could do that on dimensionals too, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it flat. All right, now my snowflake. I didn't put adhesive sheet on this one, but again, this is big enough that we can put liquid glue on the back. And this is the foil has the sturdier background, kind of like cardstock. It's the white backing, so it's not silver all the way through, so you can easily glue it. And your snowflake doesn't have to be stuck down all the way, because snowflakes are kind of random. Like, where are they? But I'm just using tiny, tiny drops of the liquid glue. I saw a thing the other day about the liquid glue, and it was like, it's a love or a hate. You either love it or you hate it. A lot of my ladies love it, and a lot of them hate it. Like, that's pretty legit assessment. But if you hate it, 9 times out of 10, it's because you get it all over yourself, right? You get it all over the place, and that's because you're using too much. If you have too much glue on when you squirt it out, if you have more than those little lines or little drops that I just used, then you will you'll be a little sorry, I think. So just make sure that you use a tiny bit of the glue, little bitty drops. So we've got that on our snowflake. Now, we also have faceted snowflakes, and these are so pretty. They actually match the Elegant Pines. I've already closed this. Elegant Pines bundle and suite, and obviously the colored ones do not match my card. I believe these are shaded spruce and cherry cobbler, and so they go with the Elegant Pines designer series paper. But I'm gonna use the clear ones, and look at this. It exactly goes right here in the middle of this die cut snowflake. So I can just sit it right in there. Right in that middle piece, and it fits perfectly. So it just adds a little bit of shine right to our middle. I did not cut a piece for the inside, but one of the stamps in the Snowy Delights bundle, and actually I'm going to use this for a card class. I hope that you all join me. I don't have all the details yet. It will either be November or very, very early in December. One of my team members at our meeting this week showed us masking, and this bundle comes with the stamp set and the dies, which are actually really fun. Lots of snowflakes. The one that I used, and then the bigger ones that you can stamp and cut out. There's this one that's also pretty, and then there's this cute little sentiment piece, and that would be a warm hello. That's what I'm going to put on the inside. And then this die right here actually cuts the snowflakes out of the paper so you can see the color behind it. But it comes with masks, and I'm not going to mask today. I'm not going to show you this. Still makes me a little nervous because I was not the presenter. I might have to have a guest speaker for my lives. But the masks, my friend Susan did a fabulous job of showing us how you can do, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and how you can layer those and make a whole slew of different snowflakes. So we are going to use this for a card class. I can't wait to show you this. But for this particular live, we are talking about the specialty paper, so we are using that snowflake embossed paper. But just keep this one in mind because we're going to use that later. And so the warm hello will go on the inside, but I didn't cut a white piece, so we will go with this. So there's our warm hello note card that has the silver foil and the embossed snowflake. We have the Peace on Earth card that has the Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper. And then we have the Amber Autumn, with the beautiful metallic paper as well. So like I said, this evening, tonight at 7 o'clock, I will go live and I will show you the velvet paper, the red, white, and green velvet paper. So thank you for joining me. Like I said, if you My live, let's see, my Facebook Live for tonight is 7 p.m. Tomorrow I'm going to be at 10 a.m., Saturday at 10 a.m., and then Sunday will probably be at 2 p.m. For my 31 projects. So I will look forward to seeing you all later this evening or tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.